And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a...
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards the pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Right back to him on first down. And an alley to run. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Ravens. 46 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch tight end, tight end's right. 3 down.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Touchdown, Chicago! Tariq Cohen. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And it's a huge return. As he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
Set, ready. 70 in. Tighten up. Pull together.
They'll run on first down. Blake And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Get ready. Get ready. Here he comes. 132 fight. Let him.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. Here we go. 10 Tucson. You. Ready.
From the gun, Love. Got a man open. It's Wims. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. They go play action with Jackson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Jackson to throw again. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Stop it. No.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10.
Ravens 14, Bears 10.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 6. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return will stop right around the 25.
His guys take over first and 10 at the 25-yard line.
We're ready. Go to base. Get the ball. Check 13.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. This time, Jackson will throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. This is Cohen. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Go.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On first down, it's Blake. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Ready, go.
They'll run on second down with Cohen, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. 65, 65, 65. Ready, go.
From the gun on third down, Love. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. Finding room at the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Buying time, Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 17-14.
Ravens 14. John Brown set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Adam Shaheen, his first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And to give this time to the tailback.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Play action. It's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. To try again after the sack. Jackson. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Jackson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. To throw on second down. Love. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. From the gun on third down. Love. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. They run, Montgomery, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Operating from the gun, Love. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on first and 10.
I'm going to run you over.
Quick pass out to Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
First down, a run with Cohen. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off play action. Love. Able to find Shaheen here. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. 58, right over there, right over there.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. And Lobo, come on.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Watch the pass. My 40, my
Off the play fake. Love. Looking deep for Gabriel. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson now. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to... Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules. By declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It's a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Cohen. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Love. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Let's go. Get the flag. Get the money. Not today, you are. Not today.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now Jackson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A 42-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Now they'll run it with Cohen. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They try again with Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. This will be fielded at the 17. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Throwing now is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike, he's coming, check in. Right here. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Tight dog.
pressure drops off as they look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and it's going to be their defense.